Yo, what is up everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence and welcome to another PE news video. Today we have two awesome news articles for you guys and two topics to discuss, and I want to just first and foremost say thank you so much for all the support, all the subscriptions, all the likes, retweets, all that stuff. You guys are amazing and I really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys. So let's go ahead and get right into the first topic here, and we have the PlayStation 4 surpasses lifetime Wii U sales in Japan. So just recently, Persona 5 released and the PlayStation 4 Slim released in Japan, and it has been tearing up the charts. I think last week it did almost 100,000 units sold for the week, and then this week it did another 50,000 or so. Persona sold over 300,000 units. So right now the PS4 sales have surpassed 3,267,243 units. That's passing the Wii U's 3,265,329 units, and this was going to come obviously because the PS4 is getting a ton of Japanese games. It's getting Final Fantasy, it's getting a revision. Obviously the PS4 Slim helped boost sales, it got price drops, it just did everything, and it took a while considering how fast the PS4 surpassed the Wii U in lifetime sales in Europe and in America, but it still did surpass it. And obviously because Nintendo has not gotten any games, it's pretty much just been a flop worldwide, and this just confirms that once more. But the Japanese console market isn't great, it's not healthy, I would say, especially when you compare it to the portable market. But still, it is something for Sony to be proud of, that they are the #1 console in Japan, in Europe, and in America. So pretty good stuff there. Congratulations to Sony on that one. And we're going to move on to the next topic here, and we have Square Enix could localize Dragon Quest X if there's enough fan support. So Dragon Quest VII got a ton of fan support to get localized. Dragon Quest VIII has got a ton of fan requests to get localized. Nintendo is helping out with both of them. But how about Dragon Quest X? But Fujimoto has basically said, hey, you know what, right now it's not on the decks, but it could happen if it gets the same support that 3DS fans have really begged and pleaded with Square Enix to do this. Now, that's one thing that I've been trying to say to get this game localized, but the biggest problem with this game compared to all the other Dragon Quest games that Square Enix has localized or have helped out with Nintendo is that those games were always offline RPGs. Those are much easier to do than online communication and all of that stuff, and the servers and all that. That just makes things so much worse for a company. So the fact that Dragon Quest X is just the online MMO is just probably creating issues, whereas Dragon Quest XI is probably going to be no problem being localized, because pretty much every single Dragon Quest game, all the main ones, have been localized, and even the spin-offs and stuff have been localized, like Jokers and things like that. So the problem really is just the MMO aspect of it, the online only, the paying each month. Will that sell here in America? They'd have to switch things around, but I just don't think that they're going to want to do that and all of the effort that that's going to take. So I'm not sure if we'll see Dragon Quest X, maybe, but Dragon Quest XI I know for sure that's probably going to get localized. Alright, and moving on to our first of two articles that we're going to be discussing here, and that is former Sony executive Jack Tretton has claimed that portable gaming is pretty much done skis, well, at least pertaining to the PS Vita wise. So he talked about the PS Vita now that he's been away for the company. He's been gone from the company for years now, and he decided he can open up about this. So this is former head of Sony Computer Entertainment America, Jack Tretton, in an interview with IGN, just basically saying that the Vita was too late to market and the dedicated handheld space is not healthy at this point. Now, he does not mention Nintendo 3DS at all, but his comments can somewhat be loosely translated just overall to the dedicated handheld business, but it does not mention Nintendo 3DS. Here's a little snippet of what he had to say. This is a great machine, talking about the PS Vita. It's just too late. The world has shifted to portable devices that aren't dedicated machines, and that's what he's talking about as far as like the whole atmosphere. And if you look at from a business standpoint, guys, I know a lot of you guys are core gamers out there, you guys are big 3DS fans, and usually gamers like to just look at the end results and say, okay, well, that's that, right? 3DS 60 million, it sold the most, good, right? And yes, I agree, good. But there's one thing that I've learned, especially from working for a big multi-billion-dollar company like I do right now. It's not only about looking at what you've done, but it's looking at where you're going, how the sales have been, and what's going on in the competition space. You have to look at everything before you analyze how is it going and how things are doing. And this is why I wanted to make this a discussion, because a lot of gamers see 60 million and say, good, great, right? But that's not the whole picture. You have to look at it like, well, what did it do before? Well, Nintendo DS, 150 million plus or something like that. Even Game Boy Advance, way more. Game Boy, way more. Alright, that's fine, it sold a little bit less. But what's going on outside of that? Look at the mobile space as far as phones. That market has absolutely blown up since the Nintendo 3DS launched, like absolutely blown up. It wasn't as big. There was one thing that some people were saying, like, oh, well, the portable market or the mobile gaming space has always been here. Agreed, it's been here for a while, but it's blown up from 2011 all the way to this point, 2016. The mobile gaming space has maybe quadrupled or more. Look at the success of Pokemon Go, which has pretty much been more successful and have generated as much revenue as nearly every single Nintendo 3DS game. Pretty much all of them, even Nintendo's first party combined. There's probably very few games that have generated more buzz and more revenue than Pokemon Go on the mobile space. And if you look at how it's been out, it's only been out for like a couple months. Think about where it will be in 2, 3, 4 years, however what they want to do, how much revenue that game is going to generate compared to regular 3DS games. So that's the one thing that you have to look at. Puzzle and Dragon Z, Gung Ho, that company is filthy rich off of just really mobile games and doing some stuff in the 3DS, but that's where they make all their money, is the mobile revenue. You look at the mobile space evolving, getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every year, whereas with the dedicated handheld space, big drop. So you look at the big drop, you look at the competition and what other people are doing, gaining steam, getting more, and you have to sit here and say, okay, there's obviously a problem when it comes to big business. When it comes to developing that business, you're looking, okay, there's an issue here because our numbers are going way down and the other numbers are going way up. And it's so hard to compete. As a dedicated platform handheld, it's so hard to compete with the flexibility of a mobile platform, guys. And I know some of you guys don't like mobile games, you don't like just tapping the screen, but I was the same way. But holy smokes, guys, these developers have caught up just a little bit. I was playing Mobius Final Fantasy. That game is literally like almost a AAA style game that you would see on a 3DS or PS Vita on your mobile phone. It's in depth, it's fun, there's multiplayer, there's cards, and it doesn't really like janky with microtransactions. You can completely play the game and enjoy all the content for free. You can play it every single day, and it's super fun RPG. And I'm not joking when I say that it's literally like a console style RPG on the go, online communications and connectivity. They have finally caught up. When the 3DS was first released, mobile gaming to me just wasn't there. There just wasn't the experiences to attract me. But this Mobius Final Fantasy game is just as good as a 3DS game or PS Vita game, and yes, it's just tapping to go, and the graphics look great. So not only has the mobile gaming space caught up, but it's blown up as far as revenue goes. So you have to look at all of that when considering what he's trying to say here, the whole space from a business wise. You look at the free titles. These titles are free and they're that high of quality, some of them. Yes, there's crappy games, I understand that. So I think that's where Jack Tretton is coming from. I like dedicated gaming, I think it's good, but for me it just doesn't fit with my lifestyle, and it's much easier to just play a mobile game than carry a big 3DS XL with me in my pocket, you know. So for me it just doesn't fit, and I think that's what's going on with a lot of people. They'd rather just carry their phone and play the games on there than actually carrying a dedicated portable around, which makes me a little concerned about Nintendo's next dedicated portable, or whatever you believe hybrid, how that's going to work, just because that's probably going to be expensive. And are people really going to want to go out there and purchase that for mobile gaming or on-the-go gaming when phone gaming is caught up? At least at this point, it's really up there as far as graphics, and some of the games out there are really good. So it's just interesting. I still love my dedicated portables, guys, although I don't play 3DS anymore. I loved it back when I was playing all the games that were coming out. I just think that he does have just a little bit of a point when he talks about the dedicated gaming machines when it comes to portable devices. Whereas if you look at the console space, yo, that's going great. Like, PS4 is selling, Xbox One is selling okay, Wii U not selling so well, but those systems have seen that, yes, there is sales for dedicated gaming machines that can sell a lot and outpace their predecessors. Both the PS4 and the Xbox One are outpacing in sales the PS3 and Xbox 360. So there is a difference when it comes to comparing and contrasting the dedicated home console space compared to the dedicated portable space, where one's on a decline as far as dedicated gaming machines, while the other one's on the rise. Now let's move on to the next topic that we're going to discuss, and it's really more of a news article here. So my boy Super Metal Dave posted a little snippet about Nvidia job posting nearly confirms Apple Nvidia using for the Mac not AMD. So he's saying that it looks like the third AMD design win looks obvious to be the Nintendo NX. So I'm going to go into that article a little bit, what it has to say if you're not familiar with the topic. So a new Nvidia job listing for a software engineer said that the successful applicant will help produce the next revolutionary Apple products. The role will require working in partnerships with Apple and writing code that will define and shape the future of graphics related software on Macs. So pretty much Nvidia has one in order for the next revolutionary Apple whatever products like MacBooks that they do put out there for their graphics. A lot of people were saying that that could be AMD, that's the third AMD design win. Well, not the case according to this right here, because it clearly says, according to the job posting, that Nvidia is working with Apple on the next revolutionary Apple products, which would be their laptop MacBook GPUs. I kind of figured that this could happen just because I see Nintendo having a great relationship with AMD, and I do feel that that's going to happen as far as Nintendo and AMD and DMP or whoever else they bring in. Heck, there's still a possibility it could be Nvidia, right? I mean, nothing is ruled out 100% at this point just because it hasn't been revealed yet with Nintendo NX, but this does show that that third design win definitely isn't going to be an Apple MacBook. Nvidia seems to have that locked down. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips and tricks, and everything in gaming. Also, make sure you check out the description below. There you'll have links to all of the articles that I talked about, in addition to our Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch page. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on all of our social networks, as it really helps us spread our content across YouTube and everywhere else. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you for the next video. Peace.